Good afternoon. Welcome to the Farmers Branch Chamber Chat. I'm Executive Director Grace Spees, and today is Giving Tuesday. So today we have Alan Brown, the General Manager of Five Star Chevrolet, with us, and also
Hello.
Carter Morris, CEO of Grace Bridge. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello. Hello.
Hey.
How's Grace today?
I'm amazing.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Grateful and excited to get to host you guys on this Giving Tuesday. So, Alan, I'm going to let you kick us off. Why don't you go ahead and tell us how you're connected to Grace Bridge and what the dealership is doing?
So here at Sampac Five Star Chevrolet in Carrollton, obviously, we have started to partner with Grace Bridge and Carter's team. And we did it for the first time a few months ago. We actually had a day of serving where we created, I believe it was 8,700 meals.
That's right.
And so Carter brought out his team, a truck and a trailer with obviously meals that needed to be put together for families in need. And then we took those we took that opportunity with our employees and broke the store into 3 different shifts. And then those employees went out and served for about 30 minutes each. And then since they were doing it on their lunch break, we brought in kind of a food truck setup and had food here on premise and fed everybody. But it was a great way for us to kind of connect for the first time with Carter and Grace Bridge, and also serve the community without really having to leave the store. And kind of fast forward through that, Carter and I have just been brainstorming, and we've known each other for a long time through our family church, Prestonwood North up in Prosper. And that's where we met years ago. But what we wanted to do is kind of continue to move the ball forward. And the next event, obviously, which is huge for Grace Bridge, is Christmas and the need of Christmas. And so we're a collection center for toys. We've got a bunch of toys already through the hands of our employees, but we're asking for the community to come out and bring toys. We have until the 11th of December to get those together for Carter and his team with Grace Bridge. But I really want everybody to have a chance to hear from Carter and the amazing work that they're doing.
Awesome. And yeah, let's go ahead and pass it to you, Carter. Why don't you give our listeners a little more background on what Grace Bridge is, your mission, how you serve, and what areas of the North Texas region you guys are serving this Christmas season.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you so much for having us. And Alan, thanks for the invite. Grace, thank you so much. So we're about 10 years young as an organization. We piggybacked off of a group of men north of the US 380 corridor up in Salina, Texas, who had been helping families for years with like food baskets at Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then my partner in all of this, just a great business guy and wanted to do something different in retirement, and just said, hey, what's happening to families the other 10 months out of the year? And so the idea was born to create Grace Bridge, which is a food bank located in Salina, but really serves about a 30-mile radius of families, both physically out of our location there in Salina or through some partner locations, which we have one right here in Carrollton at Heartland Church that serves our neighbors right here in this community. And so we've been committed, Corley, to meeting the basic necessities of life that every family has while caring for the whole person, and just making sure that just by their minds, their body, their spirit, and physically they've been taken care of through the resources that we provide on a regular basis. And so we've been doing that since 2011. Along the way, we've noticed some needs like Christmas presents and different things like school backpacks and other very specific things that we do to help families in need right here in North Texas. And so that's how we got started with doing Wrapped in Love, which is what we call our Christmas event, where we give parents the dignity of being able to select Christmas presents for their children. We wrap them for them and make sure that they're available for Christmas Day. And so, and then as I was sharing with Alan about all the things we had going on, he definitely said this is something they wanted to do here at the dealership and make this a collection center. And so we currently have a little over 500 children registered for Wrapped in Love this year. Every child gets 3 brand new presents wrapped that their parents picked out for them. And it's going to make for a beautiful Christmas, and probably even more beautiful in the light of the season that we've been going through, really since, you know, the pandemic started. So it's going to be a great year. And so we have a tagline that says, "Hope served here." I do what I do because when I was a young kid, Jesus Christ changed my life, and I want people to know that same hope that I have in Him, and we do that by caring for them and meeting people's physical needs. So it's a great opportunity.
That's awesome. You gentlemen are such a blessing to this community. So, Alan, first of all, I just want to recognize you. I mean, I was here for when you guys gave the food to Grace Bridge. I mean, you've really come in as the GM of this dealership and just been incredibly generous in numerous ways to Grace Bridge, to other organizations. So thank you for that. I know that Sam Pack himself has a heart of generosity. So Carter, I do have just kind of a few more questions for our listeners. Is there, if there were a family in need that was listening at this point in time, is there somewhere that they can go to register,
Yes.
potentially receive gifts? And is there a specific age range? Is it just 18 and under?
Yeah. No, those are all good questions. Yeah. So first, yes, if you find yourself in need, or you know of a family friend or someone who's listening here in the business community that finds themselves in need, they can go to gracebridge.us. They can register their family there for our food provisions that we make available the first and third Saturday of every month. And obviously the third Saturday of this month will be our Christmas basket. So we'll have a few extra items in there for families. And then if you would like to be a part of Wrapped in Love, and your children or somebody that you know has children that could use a blessing of us helping provide Christmas for them, they can go to gracebridge.us, click on Wrapped in Love. And in fact, we opened up some extra spots this morning for families in need. So please, if you have a need, it would be our honor to serve you and your family during this time. And I know, Alan, you feel the same way, that you guys are going to help rise to the occasion. So if you have a need, please let us know, and we'll do our very best to meet it. We also are very strategic in working with other local entities. And so if we can't meet the need, we have the opportunity to refer people out and try to make sure that every need is met.
And Carter, I'm assuming that the need this year is probably greater than you've ever seen it.
Yes. So last year, collectively, through our food distributions and our special events that we do, we served about 3,300 families. And this year, we've already served over 8,500 families. So the need is more than doubled, and it has really, we've been grateful for partners just like Five Star and many, many other people who've made provisions so that we could faithfully serve families in need right here in North Texas. And so with that being said, I think another question you asked me, Grace, there are a few limitations on the children. We do an age range of 14 and under, so 0 to 14 years of age that they can register their children. We constantly are getting requests for needs, and we want to know people's needs, because I firmly believe that if we know the need, then I believe God's going to make the provision, and we can make that connection and help people. And that's what we need to be doing right now, especially because of the year we've experienced, but also we need to be doing that because we've been afforded the opportunity to, and so we want to do it and do it well.
Yeah. Well, thank you for everything that you and your team do on such a large scale. And it's just not the toys, right? It's so much more than that. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, and you know, as much as I do, and Grace the same way, that relationships are so important. And given all the social distancing and all the requirements of trying to protect ourselves, which we do, everything is socially distanced. All of our food distributions are drive-through, but we have a texting hotline, and we still try to meet curbside with every family and ask them about their deeper needs and give them an opportunity to talk to someone, to be encouraged. The power of a conversation can literally be life-changing. And so we want to still provide that while following all the safety guidelines and making sure people feel safe and protecting people. And so it's been a privilege to get to talk and visit with so many people during these difficult times, to hear their life story and know that we get to make a little difference along the way.
Yeah, I definitely want to chime in that mental health is just as important as meeting, the needs of them
Right.
physically, maybe helping provide for shelter, housing, food, clothes, Christmas toys.
Right.
But, which I'm sure toys and again, those conversations really help contribute to know that somebody still cares, even if they're 6 feet away.
That's right.
I have a follow-up question on gifts, but go ahead.
Well, and I was going to say, those are really just simply conversation starters. I mean, we want to make sure that people are fed, and we want to make sure that needs that we know about are met to the best of our ability. But being available and being there for people and each other is something that is almost invaluable. And that's one of the things that is a part of our DNA and who we are. We pivoted like everybody else and made changes to our model. But we've remained faithful to stay connected with people who have been in need through this really crazy time, for sure.
That's awesome. I have one more question on the giving and the toy conversation, and then we want to kind of shift this a new direction.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep you on your toes. You've been warned. But as far as giving is concerned, so I'm a person, I don't have children. I wouldn't have any idea what kind of a gift to pick up for kids. So I have a twofold question. Is there a list somewhere that I could either go shop from, or would it be just as beneficial for me to donate money and you guys to shop for the gifts that you need that may not have been fulfilled yet?
Yes, so all of that, but no, I'll expound on that. But yes, all of those things are great. And so you can go to gracebridge.us. You see it there on the bottom of the screen. It is US, not any of the other endings. So .us, and you go to Gracebridge and you click on Wrapped in Love. We have a couple of different options. We have a list that you can physically print off and take with you and go to the store and shop for different presents based on age and gender. We like to keep the presents somewhere between the $15 to $20 range. So if you're able to do $100, we would rather you provide 5 toys than one big toy, just so that we can meet as many needs as possible. We also have an Amazon wish list. You can go there, you can click, you can use your credit card and click that, and it'll ship it right to us. So if you're an Amazoner and all into that, you should go there, check out our Amazon wish list. And if you're part of Amazon Smile, then when you shop, it also gives some money back as well too to Gracebridge. And so so the Amazon wish list, the shopping list, and then always you can make a cash gift. You can say that it's for Wrapped in Love, and then when we have specific needs that haven't been met through our donation collections, we can go out and handpick that toy and make sure we meet that need for that family. So yeah.
Lots of layers.
Yeah. Well, and we've tried to make it as easy as possible, but also, for really super busy people, you go there, you can give a gift under Wrapped in Love at gracebridge.us, and then we'll take it from there and make sure we get the items that we need for those families.
Yeah.
That's awesome because, I'm sure it's easy to grab some stuffed animals, but that only has a certain age range. And, I would have no idea what a 13 or 14-year-old boy or girl would want. So it's nice to know that, you make it easy for people to give and to make sure all needs are met, not just stuffed animals. Those are great. And I'm sure fine and dandy, but I imagine that there's probably its own mountain in your warehouse.
It does have its own mountain, but basketballs, footballs, just the simplest of things, really do go a long way. And when we get certain requests that we may or may not have resource for, if you just want to call our office, you can go to gracebridge.us, call our office and say, hey, I really want to get involved, but I need more details. We can even help walk you through that on how you can get more involved and give you some ideas. And our team, Debbie or Lisa in the office, would be glad to help you with that. So we try to make it as easy as possible because we want people to get involved because I think, we've been given a lot, and those who've been given a lot, we need to do be good stewards of that. And so we can get engaged and make a difference at this Christmas for sure.
Amen. That's awesome. All right, you guys ready for some fun questions here?
Let's do it.
Questions.
All right, for those of you out there who might not be able to see very well, I'll zoom in for you. I have some glitter eyeshadow on. It was, he's already shaking his head, huh?
Yeah. Go for it.
So Carter was a youth pastor, and apparently also at one point was forced to wear some glitter eyeshadow. Why don't you tell our audience about that? And
I don't think he
story about you.
I think he wanted to.
No, I didn't want to talk about that at all. No, you know what? I tell you what, you know, the things to do anything to engage people in a meaningful conversation, or to, you know, get a laugh, to just start a conversation. Because again, I can tell you, I look back over my life, and I'm sure many people who are in business and in the community who are watching this, you know, the power of a conversation, right? And one that starts with a laugh, it just breaks that ice, it disarms people. And then you can really talk about the meaningful things, right? You can talk about, you know, what your needs are, what your hurts are. You can talk about what your dreams are. And so yes, Alan and I have a mutual friend who was like, you know, what would make this video or this little skit better is if you had glittery eyeshadow, and the next thing you know, it's there. And of course, I do have 2 little girls in my house, and so you know, they think it's fun as well too. But you know, it's one of those things where if you can get a laugh and break the ice and just and get people talking, it's amazing what can happen in those moments. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up, for sure.
You're welcome. It was posted as a comment from one of our viewers. So.
Oh, nice.
I'll leave him unnamed so that you guys can deal with him later.
Oh, wow. That is fantastic. I can't see any of these comments. Do I get to see these comments?
You might be able to if you click on the right side.
Yes, yes. We will find him later.
Alan, you have some fun news also coming in soon. For many of you who don't know, he had a 100-foot flagpole for the American flag put up this summer in the middle of the pandemic.
We did.
Tell your listeners in the local area what they can expect soon to be flying over 35.
So, you know, Mr. Sam Pack makes it a lot of fun. And he felt like, you know, through everything that we were going through as a community, that, you know, a really nice big American flag. So you're right, 100-foot, it's 30 by 60 flag. So the other day, I say the other day, it was probably 2 months ago. I said, you know, Mr. Pack, you know what would balance it? Because I'm that guy, right? Things have got to balance. I said, you know, on the other side of the lot, why don't we put a 100-foot Texas flagpole, and that flag would be also 30 by 60 foot. And he said, man, sounds like a great idea to me. So we called it the same service. They're actually putting it together as we speak. And that flagpole should be in the air on Friday this week. So super excited about that. And, you know, it's just going to make a cool presence from the freeway. And, you know, our business is so much like what Carter and team you know, describes, and what their day looks like and how they serve the community. I was trained in the car business very early on that we're in the people business, and cars make it fun. And so, you know, the quicker you can communicate that through your staff and your facility and your product, you know, the easier it is on everybody. So we're excited about continuing to send that type of message with Mr. Pack's support to our community. And everybody that travels up and down 35, you know, hopefully brings a smile to everybody's face when they see that big Texas flag and that big American flag through everything we're going through together.
Awesome. I love the patriotism. I love what you gentlemen are doing both individually and collectively for the North Texas region as a whole. This is exactly what, you know, chambers and communities are meant to do is, you know, yes, it's about business. Yes, it's, you know, supporting the American dream, flying that flag high and being proud to be an American. And we are a very blessed country and right, giving back to organizations and nonprofits so that together we make the whole community prosperous. So that's really exciting. All right, one last question for each of you. And Alan, it'll be the same question, but I'm going to have Alan go first. You men are both leaders, managers, what would be some words of encouragement you could give to other leaders or just the community in general that are going through a hard time right now? This is just a open floor for a word of encouragement to our listeners, whether they're in business, employed, unemployed. You can choose what message you send, but just what would you like to say from your heart?
So when you're in business, sometimes you get caught up in the X's and the O's, right? And what I think we have to be very careful about, and I'm primarily speaking to those that are leading businesses right now, that behind the X's and O's, there's human beings attached. And behind the human being is a family attached. So we have to be very careful in decisions that we make when we're dealing with employee situations, when we're dealing with performance, when we're dealing with just matters, right, inside of our businesses. And I would just encourage everybody as we walk through what we're walking through together, just have more grace than normal, right? Just give a little bit more. And sometimes from this chair, you feel like you're over giving, but I don't think we can give enough right now. We need to help people. We need to encourage people. And, I'm really talking from a sales aspect. I can't tell you how many times, just giving that sales consultant a little bit more grace until they got back on track with their numbers. And then all of a sudden they springboarded. And I'm even talking to myself. I mean, there were a couple of times in my career coming up in this business where a little bit of grace, or it could have gone the other way, a little bit the other way, Alan might not have stayed in the business. Mm-hmm. So I think for anybody that's in a leadership role, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget what that journey felt like. And, would you work for you? Are you inspiring other people? And would you work for you? And when you ask yourself that tough question, I think a lot of times it helps autocorrect maybe the path that you're on with your own leadership style in that moment in time. Because when the pressure hits, you have to be careful. Leadership's messy, right? There's no question, but we have to be very, very careful with how we carry ourselves with that leadership we were knighted with.
That's a great word, Alan. And thank you for that. It's encouraging to me as well too. Yeah, just I have to run with the same theme of being graceful with people and full of grace with them, especially your team, and that those stories behind each one of us. I mean, we all have stories that we could share about things that are happening outside of the workplace and outside of our responsibilities in our jobs, and those do affect us, and we can't say that they don't, and compartmentalize that and push that over here, because in pushing that over and not approaching it in a healthy manner can lead to more difficulty than a resolution. And I think for all of us in any kind of conversation, in our relationships, in our business, taking that deep breath before we start speaking or get into the middle of a conversation, that one bit of pause. And as I mentioned earlier, my faith and my relationship with Jesus is what guides me both in leadership and business and in the work that we do day in and day out. And again, just to take that break and to think about how I've been loved by the maker and creator of this world, it really can change your approach. I'll tell you, one of the most difficult things with GraceBridge is obviously we want to build a relationship with every person that we meet, and we're going to serve people that come and ask for help. I mean, anyone who asks for help, we're going to serve. But as we build that relationship, we know that we don't want to enable someone to live a life they weren't created to live. And holding people accountable, especially in a difficult season like what we're in, it can be very hard. But that accountability is an act of love as much as providing all of this for them as well too. And so I think you have to take that deep breath, look for some discernment that goes beyond just what you're seeing right in front of you. That takes time, that takes intentionality, and it really does sometimes take good counsel. Having good friends, good business partners, people who surround you in the work that you do, who can give you good good counsel. And so so I think that answered the question. I was like I said, I was really into what you were sharing with us, because I think that's a good word and encouragement. But yeah, hopefully that was good, Grace. If I didn't quite answer the question, let me know. I'll go back.
No, that was perfect. Right. And that's kind of, I think, a big part of my message as leadership is, being humble, and kind of, as Alan said, you have to remember where you started from, and, having just the humility and right. I think that grace is born out of humility. And, just saying, hey, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know that person's situation or truth, but if I'm called to give in whatever capacity, whether that's as a manager, give a day off, give them a bonus, give them, a gift card, or whatever the give is, a word of encouragement, that, we do that, freely and generously, from the most humble and honoring place in our hearts for others. So I'm gonna pop Alex's comment up here real quick. He just said, "Gentlemen, you both are blessings to our community." And, I think that we can all agree, really appreciate you guys being with us today. Any last thoughts? Again, I'm going to just pop up the website here, gracebridge.us. There's many wonderful places that you can give on this Giving Tuesday. I know so many organizations are doing various things for our community, whether it's ensuring they have food assistance, toys for Christmas. It just runs a whole gamut. So wherever you give, whether it's Gracebridge or somewhere else, we just strongly encourage you to give today and throughout this season, and even beyond. Giving should be a lifestyle, not just a day.
I agree 100%. And like I said, I hope anybody who's viewing this, if we can help them, we want to help them. But also, I hope you're inspired to get involved with whatever group or organization that really loves people and intentionally engages them. Get involved and be inspired to do that today through Alan's words and the commitment that they've made here at 5 Star, or with what you guys do as the whole chamber. Get involved and help make a difference in somebody's life. And it'll be a beautiful picture and story that we'll get to tell as we see people do that more, right? So it's good. So thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Grace. And my last words are, drop off a toy and come by and say hi to me. I'd love to put a name and a face together with who responds to this video and comes by the Chevy store here in Carrollton and drops off a toy. We'd appreciate that. But also, I would love to just put a name and a face together and have a few minutes to say hi to you and get to know you. So that's hopefully the environment that you feel when you walk in the store. But we want to support Gracebridge. We want to support our community. We want to make sure that no kid goes without a Christmas, right? So that takes all of us putting together these toys. We're going to make sure and get them there to Carter, and then obviously he distributes all over and has a community center here in our backyard. So drop off a toy, come by and say hi. I'd love to meet you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Alan, for hosting the toy drive. Thank you, Carter, for all that you do. And thank you to our entire chamber community for the various ways that you are giving and supporting and making Farmers Branch a beautiful place to live and do business. We'll talk with you soon.